Welcome back to the At Home with Roby show. Visit us today at andrewroby.com. That's Andrew, ROBY.com. I'm Ashley Davis along with Trent Haston. We're your hosts. Thanks for spending your Sunday morning with us. Trent, it's always great to have team members from the Roby family of companies on with us. We're now joined by Bryant Rogers, one of our project managers on the team, and he does a lot of work. We've been talking about the mountain houses all day. Does a lot of work up in the mountains for us.
Yeah, it's glad to have a little whippersnapper here. I'm very fond of Bryant and like to give him a hard time. One thing, so welcome, Bryant.
Thank you for having me.
One thing that Mr. Carroll talked about was he wondered how in our company we attract top talent veterans like Rick Gentry started building in Lemel Ridge in '81, and then something I noticed in Charlotte, I'm going to have breakfast with these four guys next week. But in the last 3 or 4 months, in a boom time in our business, we've had the return of 4 very good veterans in the field in Charlotte. And I want to sit them down, number one, thank them, but also number 2, ask them what's attracting them back to our company so we can improve on it. But with that, another way we attract people and what we're building, and this is the whole reason why I want our company to grow and to build a great Company, is I was Bryant's youth leader at our church. And that was the church he grew up in. I did not. Right when I joined the church, I became a youth leader. Bryant went to Appalachian State, and he happened upon Andrew Roby up there. He was taking construction management, and the next thing you know, he's doing an internship, did a couple of those, and then worked up there for a while. And then he wanted to be back in Charlotte, and one of my philosophies is get the right people on the bus, and then you can move them around in the right seat. And he's been in Charlotte for over a year now, year and a half, I think.
Year and a half, yeah.
So what you were there when we were building David Carroll. Just talk a little bit about your journey, Bryant.
Yeah, so like you said, I studied construction management at Appalachian, and soon thereafter school came on and did my internship, which was a school requirement with Andrew Roby, and kind of enjoyed working in the mountains. And it was my wife was still in school, and or my now wife, she was my fiance at the time, and so interned first with Andrew Roby, and then came on full time after I graduated college and worked up there for a little over a year, and had the privilege of working on a couple houses up there, Mr. Carroll's being one of them. And then I remember sitting down with you at a donut shop up there in Boone and asking if it would be okay for me to move to Charlotte, as it seemed to be. It just, for Madison and I, to transition from being students to living and working in a college town was difficult. So we were excited to be in Charlotte, and we were excited to have the flexibility to come work in an area, in a booming area like Charlotte, a place that's home for me. So it was nice to come home, and really great to have the flexibility to move around.
So now we're looking at leaning on Bryant to help create a program, but we're trying to attract people from Appalachian State. I was just down at our Atlantic Beach office the other day. They're looking for a project manager, and they're going to go reach out to East Carolina, which is about an hour up the road in Greenville. So it's a great, on the young side, the green side, it's a great vehicle for us. I'll tell you from my standpoint, getting a phone call from Bryant, who only shook his hand and patted him on the back when I saw him about every 2 months when I was visiting the mountains, and he was a punk youth kid that had grown up, went to Olympic High School. But he calls me and says, "Hey, Trent, can we sit down and have coffee or something one day?" And I'm like, "Oh, crap. What kind of bomb's he gonna drop? Oh crap!
That could go either way.
Put yourself in my shoes, bud. So anyway, I think I drove up there like the day after New Year's or something.
It was New Year's Day.
Oh wow, man!
It was New Year's Day, yeah.
That's leadership, isn't it, young man?
So, folks, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the At Home with Roby show. We're joined by Bryant Rogers. He's talking about his journey with the Andrew Roby Company. He's one of our project managers, does a lot of work here in Charlotte, but he started in the mountains. We've been talking about our mountain division today. And, Bryant, what's that? You're working with clients sometimes remotely. They're building houses either here or maybe at the lake or up at the mountains. What is it about Andrew Roby that you think, being internal and dealing with our clients and our customers, what's it about us that makes us different if someone is out there now thinking about building their house or renovating it?
Well, one thing, especially from my experience working in the mountains, one thing that makes that a little bit unique is I was able to see that Andrew Roby, when they started the division up there, it was really important to make sure that we got it right and didn't come up there and try to ramrod their way around and kind of bully people around because they're a bigger company with a great reputation. Instead, I spoke with a lot of my professors who were architects in the area, working as architects and professors, and it was really important for them and for us to really start to incorporate local labor and local subcontractors while still maintaining that level of quality that Andrew Roby's really built its name on. And so up there, that's a kind of a difficult thing to do because we have these long-standing relationships with subcontractors, and the subcontractors here, for the most part, by and large, are much bigger companies. And so you have a guy you work with who runs a crew who's out on the site doing the work. Up there, you've got 3 guys, and the owner of the company is on his hands and knees setting the tile himself. So it's a different environment, and that's why it takes a person like Rick Gentry to really successfully run a business up there. He's got the reputation, he's got the trust, and he's got the knowledge to make sure that we build with that level of quality in the mountains.
Now, when you came to Charlotte, you were like, man, Rick Gentry is a cat. I mean, you're very fun. You and Rick have a bond, right?
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday. We were talking about why he didn't want to be on the radio show.
Yeah, he was poor mouthing us.
Oh, but no, he's great.
Boys.
He was a great mentor, and I still, when I have construction related questions that are pretty unique situations, he's certainly someone I defer to and ask in those situations, and he's been a big help and is a great friend.
Yeah, I was talking to Rick a couple weeks ago, and he said, "Man, you like seafood?" He said, "They every month or something at Esiola at Old Linville at the club. I think the public can even go and you can get a seafood feast."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "It costs you a little bit." He said, "But it's good."
Yep.
So Bryant, I want to say publicly, thanks for being part of the Roby family. You really are a staple of what we want in people and in ethics and trying to raise your family, and you're married now, and I'm assuming you're going to want to have kids, and you're a family guy, and that's what we want at Roby. You work your butt off. I show up on Saturdays and in the evenings, and you're always there, and it means a lot.
And I think it's that work ethic that David Carroll talked about it. What Travis means to him, what now Rick Gentry means to him, what you guys, everybody, that's what really sets us apart. If you're thinking about building a home or renovating a home, whether it's in Charlotte or in the mountains, that's the type, you talk about it all the time, Trent, communication. That's the big thing, communication.
Well, David said during the break, he said, I'm a relationship guy. He talked about working with Don Duffy, and he said, we have problems. It isn't hard, though. If you're a relationship person and it's on both sides of the deal, you can find success. So, Bryant, the Panthers are 12-0. Okay. Oh, excuse me. I think they're 7-0. I saw something on Facebook this week that said they were 6-1. They're 7-0.
Premonition.
We have all of our guests on the last segment give a prediction of the game today. What's the score? Are they going 8-0?
I think it's going to go into overtime. I think it's going to be 23-26.
He just blushed.
He did.
I'm a little nervous, but I'm confident that we can pull it out.
You're cute when you blush.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, my God. Now, I think it's time to wrap the show, TJ.
So
all right, Trent. Another great show.
So we go.
All right, everybody. That's it for the Mountain Home Show for the Andrew Roby Company. For Trent Haston and the entire Roby family of companies, I'm Ashley Davis. And for Bryant Rogers, thanks so much for listening. We'll be back next Sunday at 9 a.m. We hope you will be as well for the At Home with Roby show. Visit andrewroby.com today. That's Andrew, R-O-B-Y. And remember, you're always at home with Roby.